Okay, sorry about that. We have mic issue here. I want to thank you all for coming here. There's actually more of you than I was expecting. But thanks for coming. Hi, my name is Saphi. I'm a fursuiter, obviously, and I'm standing here to teach you a little bit about fursuit performance, about acting. Yeah, that's it basically. So again, thanks for coming. Uh, this is a little bit of improvisation for me because there was not enough time to prepare this panel. But what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna tell you a little bit of about the theory of a fursuit performance, at least from the point I see it. I'm gonna ask a few of you to join me on stage to actually try some of these things, and at the end, if there's enough time, I'll be taking questions if anyone's interested about something specific. Okay. So, fursuit performance. How many of you, excluding those who are already here in fursuits, own a fursuit? Raise your hand, please. Okay. Almost everyone here is a fursuiter. You should have come with a fursuit. It would be better, trust me. But okay, so fursuit performance. I started wearing a furry costume like 3 or 4 years ago. I instantly fall in love with the performance, with the way you can carry out a play, how you can play your own character of your own design, and I was trying to get better and better every time I was basically wearing the costume, which reminds me that fursuit performance is basically a kind of acting, and acting as any skill is a matter of practice. So if you're here to maybe get better in fursuiting, then the practice is basically all you need to do. I'm gonna be giving some tips, but yeah, practice makes perfect. How can you practice with something like that? Basically, fursuit as much as you can. Yes. Practice in front of a mirror at home. If you wanna practice at home, do it in front of a mirror. It's really important that you see yourself, or in front of a camera. Take a video of you and then play it back. But basically, do it as much as possible. Also, from my experience, the fursuit performance is a lot about either improvising or following a script. Now, improvisation, you need to act really quick in the given situation. You need to come with the ideas like really quick, and you're making them on spot. What helps is a little bit of preparation, and it basically is almost like following a script. But if you have a lot of, let's say, moves or a lot of I don't know, things that you actually prepared at home, and then you're using it in a certain situation, it fits. It helps a lot because you're using your own memory. You don't need to improvise that much, and because improvisation costs a lot of energy, and yeah. Improvisation is way more random, and because you're creating ideas as you go. And on the other side, we have a written script. When you basically prepare in advance as much as you can, you rehearse the script and then just carry out the act. This is more useful for, let's say, YouTube videos or fursuit theater. We'll be seeing in 2 days, I think. Yeah. So these are two main ways how you're performing fursuit regarding the preparation. Can you scroll? Okay. Okay. So there are different kinds of people. Some people actually prefer to improvise as much as possible. That's basically me. I'm not really good at scripts. guys at the first Furvester theater department already know that, I guess. So some people prefer to improvise, and some people are better like doing a lot of preparation work in advance, learning script, writing scripts, and things like that. Even if you are more like an improvisation person, it's really good to prepare at least something in advance. Those could be like skits. Those could be any kind of moves your character does, and then you basically just like pull them out and perform. Practicing, yes. Practicing, I said that you can practice in. Always do it in Fursuit. If you're gonna be a Fursuit performer, do it in Fursuit, do it at home, in front of a mirror, record yourself. Bonus point because you can actually use the video you were making, do something, make content. What are the things that can help you with the performance? Number one is maybe developing your character a bit. If you haven't done it already, basically you sit down, you think about your character, about your persona, about the fursuit. You basically take a really good look on how it looks, because all the fursuits are completely different. They're mostly unique. Unique in the way they are made, they're shaped, and for example, if you have follow me eyes on a fursuit, then you can experiment a lot with the looks you can give. Since the fursuits are mostly, you can't really make faces with that. It's more of a question of angles you're pointing your head. So take a good look at your fursuit and try to describe its character, its personality as well, because when you do that, it helps you a lot to carry out the character when you're actually performing, and it basically guides you a lot. So again, you don't have to think that much in the situation when you're actually performing. You're basically using something that's prepared already. So yeah. When you're developing your character, try to describe its personality as well. I don't know, maybe your character is super shy. That's a trait you can easily perform, because like shyness, you can imagine like standing like this. Basically, you can act that way the whole time. It could be like a flop ball full of energy. It's basically me. Yeah. Figuring out your character's backstory can actually guide you how to behave in the fursuit. First, you have those characteristics like physical shape, and you also have the personality. So figure out that first, and then move to other things later. Again, it's your character, so it's basically on you to decide how it should be behaving, what kind of personality should it have. You can take the advantage of that second character. It doesn't have to be you necessarily. It doesn't have to like reflect your true self. It could be anything. You can basically create your own or reinvent yourself again, and that way you can assign any personality traits to the character, and basically you can just go crazy. It could be also something you always wanted to be. Really good rule is you don't have to be yourself, since it's your chance to really be something you always wanted to be. Also, fursuits basically cover your whole body, cover your whole face. It's a social mask you can put on anytime you want, almost anytime you want. So you can take advantage of that. A lot of people are really shy, especially furries, for some reason. And if you take on your fursuit, it can remove a lot of this shyness from you. You can take advantage of that. All right. So developing your character is not always easy task. You can sometimes, if you're like really out of ideas and you have no idea, you can you can either copy someone else's character, but don't do it literally. Just seek inspiration, or if you don't want to copy anything that's out there already, somebody actually created, you can seek inspiration in nature. It's actually really helpful if since we're all here basically animals, except maybe you. uh, we all resemble some kind of animal. It could be a dog, could be a cat, could be a tiger, fox. So if you take a good look at those animals in nature and see how they actually behave, you can take a lot of inspiration from that. Doesn't have to be necessarily the species, but also could be like animals in general. So yeah, usually a lot of people here, you have pets at home, just watch them, try to copy what they do, and try to maybe do it yourself. It is actually one of the biggest hints I can give you, because things that animals do, all people know that. All people know that animals like scratch their hair, their ear, sorry, their ear. They lick themselves, and other things like their, I don't know, peeing on the tree, for example. So yeah. Another point we have here is like how you can improve your performance, or what can help you actually is having props. Now props can be pretty much anything. They can be like a physical objects you have. They can be actually like imaginary or virtual. Those things can help you with a certain way to act. I mean, in general, if you have a object you usually carry with yourself, you can use it for your performance. It could be part of your costume. You're already wearing one. You have a fursuit, but you can actually have like pieces of clothing or other objects that help you to paint the image of what you're trying to like act or perform. So props could be pieces of clothing, could be like plushies, plushy food, boats, for example. You can do a lot of these objects. The only downside is that you have to carry that thing around with you all the time because it's yours. You don't want to lose it. Other furries try to steal those things usually, and you're stuck with the whole thing till the end of the act. Okay, props can be also imaginary. You can create a prop out of thin air, basically. You usually do it with a pantomime. You introduce or describe the object using your body or your hands. Props can be also other people. You can use them as props. The only downside of this is they usually have a mind of their own, so they won't always understand what you're trying to achieve. But you can use other people as props. Basically, you need to take control and like position them in ways you want them to be. Okay. Movement. Yeah. Movement is a huge part of the Fursuit acting. It's what you're gonna be doing the most of the time. Pro tip number one is exaggerate all your moves. When you're covered in fur, when you're in a fursuit, basically it limits a lot of your movement. It like just cancels it. And the way how to overcome it is like to exaggerate everything you do. Make it big. Make huge grand gestures, because otherwise people won't be seeing what you're trying to achieve. Okay, so really big gestures. For example, when you like have no idea what's going on, what you do as a human, you usually like shrug your shoulders. If you do that in fursuit, you can see that it's barely visible because like the fur is covering your whole body. It cancels the movement. So if you maybe like when you're shrugging, just add your hands. So you make it more obvious. You need to make things as obvious as possible. Yes. Okay. Pro tip for full suiters with like digitized great bodies. When you're moving, try shifting core of your body. It looks really good on these types of fursuits, not that good on the regular ones. But basically, what you do is when you're standing up as a human, you're like this. That's not how animals, especially animals with these kind of legs, usually stand. So if you shift the core of your body, usually up front, it makes all the difference. Yeah. So basically, what you need to do is like walking like this a lot. See, and it's gonna ruin your back eventually, but the effect is really worth it. Most of the fursuit performance is based on not looking like a human. You're presenting a living animal, a living character, cartoon character. So whatever you do normally as a human, don't do it in fursuit. Yep. So shifting core of your body, also shifting length on your paws, on your legs, and yeah. Okay, we're speaking about the improvisation. I would like to ask a few fursuiters to come on stage and join me. We're gonna do a little bit of improvisation. So, any volunteers? Please come up. Come. Hello? You're probably not gonna fit all here. I want you guys to be visible, so I'm gonna be stepping out a bit. So please welcome our first speakers on the stage. Pick a spot. Okay, so just to warm up a bit, we're gonna be doing something really random, or actually you're gonna be doing something really random. I'm gonna ask you to do something totally crazy right now. Do it. Could be anything. And keep moving, actually. Keep doing whatever you're doing. And go really crazy. This could basically, this should help you relax. A lot in the fursuit performance is actually about taking risks, but well calculated risks, actually. Don't do anything too stupid. Okay. Thank you. And now do it again, but do something completely different. Come on, any idea that pops in your mind, first idea, just do it, whatever it is. Don't think about it too much. Oh yeah, see we have either a fight or grooming going on. Somebody's just lazy. And the green fursuiter doesn't know what to do, so he's just like, I did great. Okay, perfect. Thank you. So thank you for being crazy. Okay, good. And another exercise is one of the very basic things human beings do, but we usually fail at it as a fursuiters. Is something you're gonna be doing a lot, and it's walking. So I'm gonna ask you to imagine that you're in a like a fursuit parade, for example, at the Eurofriends. Uh, well, not anymore, but you get the idea. So I'm gonna ask you to maybe all of you to move a little back, and each one of you will be going in a circle. You can start actually, you, and try to walk. Just show us a walking. Okay, perfect. Now you. Whoa, okay. Now walk. Carefully. Great. Now next one, come. Keep walking. Okay, now you. Okay, another one. Great. Perfect. Thank you, guys. For most people, the first impression you're gonna give them is when you walk towards them or when they see you walking. At the convention or pretty much anywhere, when you're not stuck in one place, you're gonna be walking a lot. So perfecting your walk is maybe the first step and maybe the first good exercise to actually improve your performance. When you think about how you walk as a human, don't do that. As I told you, exaggerate all your movements. Think about what your hands are doing. Don't walk just like a normal person. Just it's boring. So try to actually some of you were actually doing it maybe naturally, but put your paws and your arms to play. Make big steps, like raise your paws a lot. Make it look silly. It's still better than just walking as a human normal born being. Okay, try it again. More paws, yes. And you use your paws a little bit, like make a movement, whatever movement. Okay, come, be careful. Perfect, perfect. Now you, yes. And your hands a bit, arms. Great. You can also try jumping. Come. A little bit of energy, try to jump a little bit. Yeah, come. Come. Now you jump. Jump. Come. Don't forget your arms. Perfect. Okay, yes. Okay, thank you guys, you're awesome. So yes, that was walking. Alright. Another neat trick that will help you to help you with the performance is something we call idle animation. It's basically a movement or a thing you do when there's nothing happening. So imagine you're, for example, standing in a crowd of people, or you're talking to someone and they just keep talking and talking and talking, and you're just standing there and listening. Or it could be any situation where there's currently is nothing interesting happening, and you're basically supposed to just stand there. Now, if you just stand there, as a fursuiter with this blank stare, you look super creepy, like really creepy. So don't just stand there, do something. It could be whatever. And this really helps to improve the overall look on your character, and it makes the thing more lively. Because when fursuiter is doing nothing, it looks like it's dead. And at some point, security at the convention will try to check on you if you're okay. Okay. Examples of idle animation. Something I do is you either use your hands, or you can be walking. You can be walking in circles. You can be stomping. You can be dancing. Dancing is perfect. By the way, if you want to really like level up your performance, learn how to dance. Can you dance, guys? Show me. No? Yeah, some of them actually can dance. It's impressive. So this is little movements that will help you to basically stay looking alive when you're in Fursuit. And guys, try to find your own idle animation. Imagine that like nothing is happening at all, and you're supposed to be just standing here, which is basically what you're doing. But try to not be still. Try to do something, anything that will make you look alive. Anything. You can be just like waving your paws. You can be stomping. You can be like walking in place. You can be shaking your head. Basically, don't just stand there. Do something, even when you're supposed to stand in one spot. Try it. If anyone else also wants to try it, come here. There's still plenty of space. Show me your idle animation. Come, perfect. More people. I'm gonna keep talking, but you guys keep moving, okay? Perfect. Yeah, this is awesome. You can be wagging your tail if you have one. You can be wagging your tail. Yeah, you can be like rotating your staff if you have one. It's perfect use of props actually. This whole costume. Huh? Some of you can actually go here. I'm gonna go down, so you're better see. Make like a half circle. There's too many of you on the side, so can you please move away? Keep moving. Use perfect. It's like a little dance here. Shaking tail. Walking in one place. Somebody try that. Stomping, like shifting weight. You can be like doing this. Try shifting your core, so maybe like bend a little bit to the front. Cool. Okay, so yeah. This is actually a really hard to master, but think about it. Every time you're not moving, try starting doing anything at all. It looks way better than if you're just like standing there. Yeah. Perfect. Thank you, guys. If you wanna go sit down, you can sit down. Also, another example of idle animations, you can basically be just like looking around, like moving your head, or like moving your core, your upper body to different directions, just like looking around, maybe sniffing. You can you can play with your ear, you can play with your nose, pretty much anything, or with your tongue, obviously. Yes, you can. If you're a cat, you can be cleaning yourself, cleaning yourself. Shake your tail. Yeah, you get the idea. So anytime you're supposed to be standing still, don't stand still. Try to look alive. Okay, next topic is interaction and communication. You can sit down if you want, or you can keep moving or stay here. You're a great background. So. Yes, interaction and communication. So what most fursuiters do when they, at some point they need to communicate or they need to interact with people. A lot of the performance lies in the actual interaction with people, and you're gonna be basically interacting with two kinds of people, either with furries or with normal people, or normies, I guess. With normies. What are you doing there? So with furries, it's actually fairly easy because furries usually know what to expect from you. They get the idea what the fursuit are or what the fursuit is, and they get the idea how to prop perfect. See, you can do actually a lot of this with this thing. You can try to eat it. Yeah, you can give it to someone. You can for example throw it at someone, or perfect idle animations like you can just throw it by yourself to yourself. Good. And now you're stuck with that thing till the very end of this panel. So where was my interaction? Furries. Furries. They know what fursuits are. They know how to. Usually, they know how to behave around one. Because every convention has at least one fursuiting 101 panel, or like, is this your first furry convention panel? So they're usually told how to behave around fursuiters. Most of them are shy for some reason. So when interacting either with normies or with furries, usually it's usually better to give a signal that you want to interact with the person. For example, I like walk here, but let the other person decide if they want to continue the interaction or not, and like for example offer a hack, and let them come to you. It's usually better. You avoid a lot of disappointment. Maybe they're not interested at all. But by doing the first step, you usually like completely analyze, completely destroy the other person's like feeling of the shyness. So. Now this is an extremely important with the normal people. Furries are usually used to hugs and physical contact. Normies are not, especially kids. They are usually frightened. A lot of kids believe that you're actually real. Small kids, especially. In that regard, don't ruin the magic for them. I know this is a really controversial topic, but. A lot of those kids, they actually think you're a real giant fleshy animal, and if you remove your fursuit head or parts of your fursuit, then it completely destroys the idea, not just for the moment, but pretty much for everyone. Well, okay, you can stop. You're doing great, but you can stop. So. Yeah, make the first step, make the first contact, but usually let the other person to join you. It's like a formal acceptation of the interaction. That's how it begins. With other fursuiters, you usually play stupid little games like throwing a cookie at each other. If you can imagine or remember those really silly children games when you were like basically just like playing with your paws. I need a paw. Give me the paw. Like this. You do high fives, you do hugs, you just like do things like this. It's really stupid, but it works. Communication. Well, we're actually running out of time, so I'm gonna speed this up. Communication. There are two types of communication. You use either words or you use body language. As an actor, you should be using your body language way more, not in a way just to improve yourself, but I'm gonna ask, who of you is a fan of speaking fursuiters? Who is okay with fursuiters speaking? Most of you, okay. So yeah, there's actually nothing wrong with the Fursuit speaking. There's no rule that will prevent you doing that. Just one warning: when you start speaking, you usually stop acting. So if you want to get better at the performance, try actually acting more, describing things with only your body, using your body, using your hands. Or you can just be talking. Talking is fine. Or you could be squeaking. One thing how to improve, I always feel a little bit weird when a fursuiter talks, because they usually do it the way humans do. They stand there, they stop acting, and they just talk. I mean, like it's efficient for the communication, but it's a big enemy for the acting. So one way to improve it is actually don't stop acting while you're talking. If you've ever seen an animal in real life communicating, you can see that they're not completely like stiff and frozen when they talk. They, for example, if you see a dog barking, they move their head a lot. So either if you're squeaking or if you're talking, try to use either moving your muzzle up and down, because when you're doing that, it is actually looks more like a living animal. Try to shifting your hand. Try to gesticulate a bit, like make gestures. Okay. We have more activities since we have fursuiters here. We're obviously bored. We're gonna. Can you scroll a bit? We're running out of time, but we're gonna start acting now. I'm gonna ask each one of you to. I'm gonna give you an emotion, because you're gonna be using describing emotions a lot in your performance, and you try to act it. So the audience actually can see it. So who's going first? Need one more volunteer. You wanna go first? No? Too shy? You come. Stand in the middle, face the audience, and show me happy. See? Yes. Perfect. That's happy. That's very happy. Great. Another one. Next one. Quickly. Perfect. Show me sad. Yeah, you can see how they do it. Covering their eyes, making it seem like you're crying. Crying is like the biggest symbol of sadness. So perfect. Next one. So you're very disappointed right now. Yeah, it's a tough one. It's something like being sad. I guess yes. It's just really tough. For some reason, for two new fursuiters, it's really difficult to show sad emotions, because like the basic facial expression is super happy or derpy or whatever, and it's really difficult to make sad emotions. So if you're disappointed, you could maybe I don't know. It is really a tough one. Next one. Okay, show me crying. You're really sad. Perfect. See what he's doing with the paw. He's like showing you that there's a tear rolling. Perfect. He's also a little bit like shrugged. If you start covering your face, you're basically showing that you're either shy or sad or something like that. Perfect. Thank you. Next one. Now you're angry. You're really angry. Show me angry. Anger. Yes, more angry. You're super furious right now. Come on. What do you do when you're furious? Yes, exactly. You stomp. You stomp, you lean forward, yes. Perfect, thank you. Happy. Show me anxious. Yeah. Sorry, it's difficult. Show me anxious or bored. Yeah, he's totally bored. You're boring him. Perfect, perfect. That's very good. That's very good. Thank you. So, anxious. I can show you that because I am actually really anxious right now. Uh, you're shaking a lot. You're like you don't know what to do. Actually, basically what I'm showing the whole time here. Next one. You show me bossy. You're really like a dominant, bossy. Yes. Wow. That's really good. Perfect. Next one. It's gonna be the total opposite. It's gonna be very submissive. show me submissive. Submissiveness. Yes. This is kind of like shy. Yes. Perfect. Perfect. Thank you very much. Next one. Come. Show me something flirty. Flirty. Like yeah, exactly. This is actually very perfect. Make yourself look super gay. That works. Sorry. Great. Yes. You're like you have to be like really sassy. Like you're flirting. Next one. Show me you're in love. You either love someone or somebody loves you. Yes. Make heart shapes with your pose if you can. I can't. Yes, that's awesome. Perfect, thank you. Next one. And the last one, perfect. You're freezing cold, you're super cold, yes. So basically when you're showing an emotion, try to think about the people you're displaying it to. Find what's probably the most descriptive thing they could think of about the emotion and just like act it. A lot of those are can be actually like rehearsed in advance because it's what people usually do. Seek, for example, inspiration in cartoons. Yeah, especially those that there are no words in them. They're just like acting. A lot of these things can be learned from this. It's not working. It's not working. Okay, so that's it for emotions. You're gonna be using them a lot throughout your performance because that's how you communicate how you feel about something. Yeah, when somebody tells you something, this is your reaction basically. And the next one is charades. I have a few cards prepared here. Yeah, wait, you don't have to show them. So I'm gonna be. Everybody will get a card. Try to look at it. I'll give you a few moments to prepare what. If you can't read, just tell me. And when you're ready, each one of you will be standing here. You're gonna be trying to act what's written there, and you guys are gonna be guessing it. You know charades, right? So everybody understands what they're supposed to do? So remember what you were told. Exaggerate everything. What you do, make it big, make it grand, make it visible, and make it obvious. Use props if you can. Either use other fursuiter, use like an object you have with you, or just introduce a new like imaginary prop. So these are actual scenes. So who wants to go first? You guys are gonna be guessing, so be ready, pay attention. Who wants to go first? You. Okay, I'll take it. Yes, go. Try to guess what he's doing. Almost, yes. Yeah, he's gaming. Good. So they guessed it? You did a good job. Thank you. Next one? Don't be shy. Who's the next? Huh? Okay. That'll be good paper. Okay, let's go. Try to guess what he's doing. Yes, perfect. Good. These are too easy, I guess. Good job. Who's the next? You. Yes, he's making pancakes. Thing is, with pancakes, the most obvious thing you can do is flip them on the pan, and maybe watch it get stuck on the ceiling, and then it could fall down and like flop on your tips. Next one. Sorry, I think I've heard it. Try it again.
He said swimming.
Yes, he's swimming. Yes. Good job. Swimming is kind of obvious. Next one. Okay, go. Thank you. This is gonna be fun. Yeah, he's obviously drinking something. What is he drinking? Yes. Now, can you act like being a drunk? Be super drunk. Yes, yes. Since this comes from experience, obviously. Good job. Maybe he is actually drunk. Good job. Next one? Who's next? Thank you. Yeah. Okay. Yes, he's a soldier. Exactly. Like marching is probably marching and shooting is probably the key thing here. Okay, next one. You come. Thank you. Okay, it's gonna be interesting.
Flying.
Yes, he's flying. It's actually flying a plane is like a pilot, but this thing kind of gives it away. Great job. Next one. Okay. Sorry. Go. Yes, he's skiing. Good job. Thank you. Maybe you don't when you're trying to portray something very specific, you don't need to be that specific at all. Like what was written there was like skiing down the slope, but basically you can go. Okay, next one. Okay, come. Go. So what is he doing? Yes. He's actually running a marathon, but you can't really see it from there. Next one. Okay, come. Oh, wait. Yes, this is a perfect use of prop. When you walk into any area you're going to be performing, look around because anything can be a prop. Like you have a television, you have other people there. Scan the area. You can use a lot in there. Okay, next one. Okay, come on. You. Yes, taking a shower. Perfect. Great job. Next one. Come. Don't be shy. Ini. Well. Yes. Yes. This is actually really difficult to like portray when you're standing, but go crazy and just lie on the floor and go like cycling. Most people know that it's either like being dead, like dead butt, or it's cycling. Next one, last one, yes. Ah, you need this. It's a pro. What is he doing? Yeah, he's writing something. Yes, he's writing a letter. Okay, so this thing is still not working. What time is it? Okay. So thank you very much for participating. Big applause to our actors here. You can either stay here on stage or you can sit down because we're like 5 minutes after the end. I still would like to know if there are any questions, if there are something specific you would like to know, because I feel like that's the best way how to maybe introduce your own experience about the first season. So, anyone got any question? No? You can always talk to me on Telegram about the performance if you want. You can sit down, thank you. You did a great job. Now, if you want to be really good at first sitting, keep practicing. Take every opportunity to dress in a costume and play. Is anyone here who's doing YouTube videos? Maybe? Any YouTuber here? One? Only one? Okay. And yeah, so I guess the rest of you is more interested about the public performance and conventions, I guess. Well, I hope you'll find these tips helpful. If anything, there's only like so much time I could give you here because there's a next panel coming soon. Although I thank you very much for your attention. If you have any questions you didn't think of now, then just contact me on Telegram or Facebook, Twitter, or whatever. I'll be happy to answer it. I'll also be running around the convention, so anytime you want to know anything specific regarding Fursuiting, just hit me up. We can talk, we can discuss it privately. Okay. So that's all for now. Thank you very much. I'll see you around.